Bigger than Tesla? Top $7 trillion Metaverse stocks that create millionaires overnight. So I think it's safe to say that everybody and their mother has heard of the Metaverse by this point, surely. Simply put, there are an enormous number of interested parties that are investing insane amounts of money into the Metaverse, too many for it not to become a huge world-changing deal. Today we'll be taking a look at some of these players and their investments into the Metaverse, making them stocks that could easily become cornerstones of the Metaverse going forward, and some that could even become bigger than Tesla, achieving trillions in growth and making overnight millionaires. So, which stocks will be rocketing up in value past Tesla soon? How can you get involved? And how will any of this make you an overnight millionaire? Well, fortunately for you, I'm going to answer all of these questions over the next few minutes, so make sure that you are subscribed to this channel and that you have your notification bell rung to make sure that you never miss a piece of information that could change your entire life. Now, of course, remember that I'm not a financial advisor and that any investment must include a measure of risk, so please make sure that you're very careful with your financial decisions. Are you finished subbing? Great. Let's have a look at some of these stocks, shall we? Well, the first of these stocks we'll be looking at is Unity Software. Unity has achieved quite an amount of fame over the years for being a great entry point for those on Steam who are looking to get into game design, as well as other people too. Of course, it also has the reputation of being the asset pack whose demo games got re-uploaded to Steam wholesale by thousands of scammers looking to make a buck by flipping Unity's work. Of course, that's more about Steam's terrible quality control than Unity itself. Anyway, Unity is now extending their reach and looking into other niches besides game development. Of course, the Metaverse is intended to be used by people for personal and professional reasons on a regular basis, for anything from socializing to architecture and technical design to work, training simulations, the list goes on. Well, you shouldn't be shocked to learn that these things will need graphics engines, software, and special effects, but you might be shocked to find out that about 60% of all augmented reality and virtual reality games that exist are already developed by using Unity. However, another major development for Unity, pardon the pun, is that they just bought Weta Digital for $1.6 billion. Yes, I know you want to ask. It is the company that made the Lord of the Rings movie effects. They're responsible for such incredible CGI works. Everyone knows about them. We're talking about Gollum and Thanos here. So the reason for this move is to make Weta's tools and resources available to common artists and developers who can then create even more cool stuff for the Metaverse using Unity. A lot of people avoid AR and VR right now because the graphics aren't convincing, and Unity wants to change that. If they're able to parlay their newfound graphic potential into a big share of the market for the Metaverse, then you know that they are going to multiply their stock value over and over. Another company that's been making an enormous amount of noise over the last year or so is also poised to take advantage of the Metaverse, and that, of course, is Roblox. Now, maybe you already know this, but if not, I get it. Roblox is a platform that allows you to play games, but also to create games and to profit from them. Players can bounce from game to game or world to world and join in with virtual events that are going on all the time. It already sounds like the Metaverse, doesn't it? It should, because these are exactly the things that are planned for the Metaverse, giving Roblox a heck of an advantage as it takes over the existing internet. Any company like Roblox that has already established the kind of digital infrastructure that'll be compatible with the concepts that exist for the Metaverse is standing in an extremely advantageous position right now. And I didn't even know this until I started researching them, but they have 43.2 million daily active users worldwide. That's like 3.5 times the amount of World of Warcraft had at its peak. Not just that, but the best creators on the platform are set to earn from a pool of around $500 million in the next year alone. So yeah, make sure you know what's happening in the world of Roblox. Okay, we kinda have to mention it, don't we? What's the most obvious company? The starkest no-brainer of a platform that you could possibly imagine having something to gain from the Metaverse. Facebook, of course. Now, of course, Facebook is the company that recently rebranded itself as Meta, and now that word is nauseatingly commonplace. Good old sketchy as today as long Mark Zuckerberg has been throwing billions of dollars into Metaverse-related tech and has thousands of employees working on it around the clock to help it grow even further. Facebook could be investing over $10 billion a year into the Metaverse for the next decade. Let's not forget that this company owns 4 out of the 10 most likely apps in the world that you have on your phone, including Instagram, Facebook of course, WhatsApp, and Messenger. They also have the money and the resources to attract and to hire anyone they want. I'm talking the world's greatest talent. Most people were a bit quizzical when they acquired Oculus back in 2014, but that all starts to make sense now, doesn't it? Now, of course, the best thing for you as a consumer, hopefully about the Metaverse, is that it isn't going to be owned by any single company, but the Zuck is definitely trying to make sure that as much of that proverbial pie is his to play with as possible. Some people definitely won't like this, but anyone who has an investment into Meta now is going to see some huge returns on that over the next 10 years or so. Think investing into Apple shortly before the announcement of the iPod. On to the next on our list. Let's talk about Amazon. Shopping is a major part of the technology industry, as you probably know, because you are probably using something or sitting near something that came to you via Amazon right now, whether you like it or not. Of course, the metaverse looks set to only increase its involvement. Imagine being able to go to a virtual shoe shop, trying on some shoes, making sure you like the way you look in them, and then ordering them to your real-life doorstep. This is absolutely possible. No, probable to the way that many people will shop going into the future. Beyond just the open consumer side, though, Amazon is also providing Amazon Web Services, which is responsible for about a third of the internet traffic today. So they'll be the ones that the other companies looking for a piece of the metaverse call when they want to get involved. There are infinite opportunities for them in the metaverse, so you better believe that they'll be taking whatever they can as soon as possible. Next up, and it's the company that provides about 50% of all the media you and your children consume these days, like it or not. I'm talking about Mr. Mouse. I'm talking about Disney, of course. And yes, they are a company that has never been shy of adopting new technologies when it becomes available. Disney owns so many intellectual properties right now. We're talking Star Wars, Marvel, its own content, even The Simpsons. Can you imagine being able to jump virtually into the worlds that these properties exist in and roam around exploring? Your kids are going to want to do that. And if we're honest with ourselves, we might even want to join them. Some say that the earliest areas of the metaverse that we're likely to see coming to life are going to be simple experiences, like, for example, an interactive storytime experience. For this reason, you have to be crazy not to imagine that Disney is one of the safest bets that you can make going ahead into the metaverse. Now, last on the list today is Matterport. It's a software and specialty data company with a market cap of about $6 billion. They make it possible to transform real-world space into virtual space, something that has a million different uses. But to use the most obvious to spell it out for you, think of the virtual tours that some folks are able to make use of when considering buying a property. These kinds of services also allow users to move furniture around and customize the space as they see fit. Something like this is going to be a major player when there are entire virtual worlds being created in the metaverse, so you would be smart to get a foot in their door while it's still a relatively low-risk venture. Okay, so there you have it. Those were some of the stocks that you can definitely expect to be catapulted up in terms of market cap in the next few years. With the metaverse looming over the entirety of the next generation internet, these are the companies that will be vying for position in the new world. And I think you should take a look at what they can do for your portfolio, and in a few years, your collection of mansions. As always, please make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet, and ring that bell for notifications to make sure you never miss a piece of crucial news that could make you very, very wealthy. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.